Is a second part of Big Frank, where we are now introducing the other part, the other half of the Devon versus Michael Todd match, and that is the monster Michael Todd. So, Michael, thank you so much for being on this show. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, brother. So, I talked to Devon. All right. And you laugh. Hey, man, I went through this shit a year ago. So, the man, he's confident. He flat out saying, he's going to win. All right. He believes that he has, a stronger hand and a stronger arm and more in his arsenal, I guess you would say. He gave your style credit, said that your style is strong. He said that, in the past 12 years, okay, anyone who thought that you weren't a legitimate threat at the number one spot was, out of their mind. But he believes at this time that you are not at his level. All right. So first, let's talk about that. How do you reply to someone saying that they don't think that you're at their level? However, you are both coming in WAL reigning champions. So tell me about that.
Okay, so it's pretty simple. Devon's a great dude, man, and he's a great arm wrestler. But the fact is very clear. Dave Chafee ran him out of the super heavyweights 4 years ago, and he's hidden in the 225 class ever since. Now, I may not have won every super match I've had in the last couple of years, but I've beat every number one arm wrestler, every top arm wrestler in the world. I've beaten FREAKin, I've beaten Pushkar, I've beaten Simplenkov, I've beaten Bajan, I've beaten Chafee. He's hung around with the 225 guys. So, for him to say I'm not in his league, I'm the only one who's in a league of their own. I'm the one that's been competing against the best in the world. Now, does that mean Devon can't compete with those guys? Absolutely not. But to say that I'm not in his league, I don't even think he believes the shit he's saying. I mean, I think he's scared, and I think it's coming out in this overconfident, overcompensating personality. This persona that's presenting itself as, I'm going to dominate Michael Todd. I'm going to do that. And the fact is, I was a guy who had given credit to Devon Larratt for being the best endurance in the sport. And I've come to now a new opinion that I don't necessarily think he has the best muscular endurance in the sport for arm wrestling. I think he gets in a superior position when the match stops. So because he's in a superior position, because of his leverage, he's able to be at about a 70 or 80% max, where his opponent is at 100% max. So it appears that he has better endurance. What he has is a superior leverage, right? So my belief is, I put that dude in a neutral position and make a dogfight out of it. He will quit before I will.
Okay, fair enough. Now, that word came up, that terminology came up, endurance. He said that a lot of people bring up endurance now. Everybody that knows anything about this sport says Michael Todd is at the top as far as muscular endurance goes.
Come on, honey.
Wow.
Come on, honey. Come on, honey. You got this. This is your thing. Come on.
Watch your elbow, Michael.
Watch your elbow. Come on. Come on, honey.
Watch your elbow, Michael.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Get his leg down, ref. Get his leg down, ref. Come on. Come on.
Stay up, Michael.
Come on.
Right there. Push down. Push down on your elbow. Try to
He's got it. He's got it. He's got it, guys. Let him do his thing. He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. Let him do his thing. Let him do his thing.
He's saying, but they also say the same thing about him. However, he's saying that that endurance is not as important as everybody makes it out to be. He said that people say the wrong thing about endurance. He said it's not endurance, it's your ability over the person that you're across from. What do you say about that? What do you say as far as people use the word endurance? Are you talking?
Well, I think what he's referring to is what I just said. Is he has the superior leverage against most of the people he competes against. So he finds that spot in the match where he's now able to rest, right? And it may not even be like people go, "Do you train for endurance?" Yeah, I do circuits and I train for endurance. But me winning a match or not is not determined. Well, I just had more muscle endurance. I've got more heart.
Yeah.
And Devin, if you were to design the perfect arm wrestler, you're going to want someone who's got leverage. Well, that's Devin. You're going to want someone who has endurance. Well, that's Devin. You want to know somebody that's strong. Well, that's Devin. Well, he has all those genetic abilities and all those traits about him, but he doesn't have my heart. So the only way Devon Larratt beats me, is if he's just too strong for me to be on the table with.
Yeah.
And I don't see that as being a possibility. He's going to have to take control of my hand. He's going to have to take control of my wrist. He has to do all that off the start. If this match becomes a dogfight, Devon Larratt loses. Guaranteed.
You have never really been, you really aren't known for being in short matches. Your matches, they go a while, right? Do you think that he can hang with your style?
Okay, so Devon, everybody talks about my kings moving, my style, whatever. Devon has the same thing in his arsenal. He's got a strong pronator, he's got a strong post, he's got a strong hand and wrist, so he has all those options as well. I just think that it's going to come down to who wants to win more, right? Like, unless he is just here's Rebecca back and back.
Rebecca,
Team Crushing.
I love it. So
thanks to Ray.
Team Crushing it. I'm going to give a plug to Ray Cody because I'll tell you, Ray Cody loves you two like family, and I'm sure you know that. He would do absolutely anything for you. I think I like pushing his buttons maybe just a little bit. So after yesterday, I texted him right away. I'm like, I don't know what you're going to think about that interview. So, of course, he got all worked up and whatever. But I love Ray. I know you guys love him as well.
He's a good dude.
He is 1,000% Michael Todd. I mean, if he could put the house up, I think he'd put the house up. And he thinks the world of both of you. And I appreciate Ray Cody. Ray Cody is the sole, sponsor of this show. So, kudos and thank you to Ray Cody and for all you do for the Todds. I'm sure you guys just think the world of him, and he is 1,000% behind you guys.
Yeah, we do appreciate all the support for sure. He's a good dude.
Yeah. Now, what I want to talk about real quick, and we'll come back to the match.
Yeah.
But I want people to know who Michael Todd is because Devon is very well known, right? Things that he's been involved with has gotten his name outside of arm wrestling, not unlike Travis Bajan, right? Everybody knows who Travis Bajan is. So tell me who Michael Todd is. Like, tell me where you came from. I've seen videos, man, where you're like just a big freak doing backflips and I don't even know. Tell me where you're from. Like, where is Michael Todd from? Where were you before and what brought you to arm wrestling?
Well, that's an interesting story, actually. Okay, so I'm an Arkansas born and raised guy, a little town called Malvern, Arkansas. I currently live about 8 miles from my childhood home. So as a kid, my father was he was a star football player in school, and he wanted me to follow that same path. Well, all it took was me going and seeing Karate Kid when I was like 10 years old, and I was hooked on karate. So I started Shotokan, then Taekwondo, did some Thai boxing. So I had a black belt when I was 14. Bought the adult class, had a lot of fun with that. Always been a huge martial arts enthusiast. Like, I've been watching UFC since UFC 1. But I also always used to arm wrestle my father, messing around and, putting my arm up on the armrest of the chair while he was in his recliner and I tried arm wrestling. Also went to kind of a, little small redneck school, so we all arm wrestled. And my senior year in high school, I was pretty much the top guy in our school, and I was at a VOTEC class, and this guy told me he was second in the state in wrist wrestling. So I pulled out a little folding table at the cafeteria, and I beat him. He's like, you should go to this tournament. I went to the 1990 Saline County Fair, took 3rd place. After that, I come home. I built me a wrist wrestling table. I started holding tournaments at the boys' club in Malvern. Go about a year, don't get beat. A couple years later, I find out about arm wrestling. I go to my first ever tournament, August 1st of '92, BJ's Country in Bossier City, Louisiana. And my first match, I get smoked in a top roll. I didn't know what a top roll was. Well, on the other side of the bracket, this guy who was a reigning national champion, Robert Redden, had been training 3 years to beat this guy. He beats him, puts him on the B side. This is my first tournament ever, and my second round, I've got one loss, and here I'm going against this guy who was a reigning national champ at that time. And he gets into a hook match with me, fouls, goes back in there again. I end up beating the dude, put him out of the tournament, like, oh my God, who's this guy that just beat James Anderson, right? And so a month later, I'd had some issues in college, and I got suspended for a semester, so I was either going to go back to college that semester, or I was going to go to the AAA National Championships in McLean, Virginia. My mom was going to give me the money for one of the two. And I'm like, Mom, I want to go to this. I want to be an arm wrestler, right? So there it was. I went to National Championships, and I've been hooked ever since. So won my first National Championship in 2000. Won every year either a right-handed or a left-handed national title for 10 years until 2009. 2010, my left arm came apart in a World Championship match in London against Wagner Bortolato. So once I didn't make the 2010 Nationals, I didn't really feel a reason to go back because it was marketing. I wanted to be the reigning national champion when I tried to sell myself to sponsors or something.
Yep.
So I didn't go in 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. In 15, Rebecca and my stepson Ryan, they had a youth division. I'm like, well, let's go to Vegas and arm wrestle. So we all went out there. We all three won the national championships that year. And
nice.
Since I've, again, won a national championship at 15, I felt like I didn't go in 16 and 17 and 18. So it's now we're back on track of trying to win another national champion or several national championships every year, hopefully, right, left, overalls, whatever. So as a family, me, Rebecca, and Ryan, we've all won the national championship, at least one national title the last 4 years in a row as a family. We're the only family that's ever qualified for and competed in the Arnold Classic. So that was cool. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, man, it's been a long career, and it all started out with me just being a little redneck from Arkansas who found out about an arm wrestling tournament. And now I've been to Europe 30 plus times. I've traveled the world, and the interesting thing is I live in a small town of about 30,000 people, and very hardly anybody even knows that the world champion lives in Hot Springs, right?
That's what's shocking to me. That's what Ray Cody, of course, sent me your whole list of what you've accomplished, right? And you have such a list of accomplishments. It's unreal, but it's like, it's almost frustrating for someone like me that has so much respect for you, to say, to post something, Michael Todd, and people say, oh, well, who's that? And I'm like, that's the reigning world champion. And I just start going off, and I'm like, that's why I said, I need to get this guy on this show and get him out there. Now, we talked a while ago, all right, so where were you at Christmas time, weight-wise? You were over 300, correct?
I was 323, 323.6 at my heavyiest. And what it was, I was just getting ready for my match with Pushkar, and I got in that mindset of bigger's better, stronger, whatever. And I trained hard, but my nutrition was shit. And I'm not a genetically lean person. I'm more of the endomorph body type. So if I eat like crap, I'm gonna look like crap. So I got pretty fat.
You got big. Now where are you now? Where are you hanging around right now?
Well, I've been as light as like 253, 254. I woke up this morning at 269 and change.
You lost quite a bit. I mean,
I was right at 68 pounds is what right at almost 70 pounds. But then we went on vacation to Punta Cana and ate and drank for a week, so I gained like 20. And it's kind of floating around a little bit.
That's water weight that you're going to wind up losing anyways. And
I feel good.
Something that you and your wife are very used to is you guys have been in fit. Now, have you guys competed in fitness competitions, or did you just do it?
The only type of fitness competition we've ever competed in was we do Basala Sciences, Body by Body. It's a network marketing company. We've been involved with that about 7 years. We also run our Todd Total Transformation business. But in 2015, we had gotten married in 14, moved to Hot Springs, ate what we wanted for like 4 months, put on a little bit of weight, and we just kind of wanted to prove to people that, it wasn't about workouts, it's all about nutrition. So we entered in the 90-day challenge, right? So we entered in the active fitness category. So our goal was to get physically fit, aesthetically, but also have a fitness goal, and that was for us to win the national championships. So I went from 270 down to 223 or something like that, and then cut weight and went and won the 220 right and left, the Masters right and left, and Rebecca won the 54s and 32s and 54s at nationals. So as a couple, we lost a total of 75 pounds of, unhealthy body fat and won, 6 national titles that weekend. So we were crowned national champions for the active fitness category. But as far as competing in figure competitions or anything like that, now used to, I was this pretty boy, 195-pound fitness model guy. So had they had the physique competitions back then, I probably would have done them.
I've seen the picture.
I'm not that guy anymore. But yeah, so yeah, we eat healthy most of the time. Sometimes during the holidays we'll take off and I have consumption issues, and I eat incredibly large portions of food, so it's really easy for me to go from.
Look who you're talking to. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, from lean dude to does that guy even work out? You know what I'm saying? And it's all nutrition.
Yeah. Well, what starts happening is you know that you can lose it. So when you're eating, you just have that mindset like, if I really buckle down, I can lose it. But sometimes we let ourselves go a little bit long. Trust me.
A little bit long. Yeah.
I'm 370 right now. I'm going to start cutting down.
You say you're 370?
370, yeah.
Dude, you're massive.
So it's it's nice. I keep decent shape at 370, but it's just too much. I'm 47 years old. How old are you?
45.
Yeah. So, we're getting up there, not up there, but, at the time where we have to start taking care of ourselves and watching how heavy we get. And, I give you a lot of credit because you said you were going to get it, you were going to do it, and you did it. That's one thing I've noticed about you. When you say you're going to do something, you do it, right? So, there's a lot of people out there that I know want to know who Michael Todd is. And we've talked about a few possible opportunities coming your way. So I hope those people are taking a look at Monster Michael Todd and really seriously considering you for a lot of things because you are so well-rounded. You're not just an arm wrestler. You have the look. You've even, you've thought about getting into acting as well. So there's another avenue for Michael Todd. I'd say just keep going at it. I'm looking at you right now. I can see you on screen right now, being a thug in a movie, right? So, hopefully you're still plugging that. Now, I've seen your wife get both of you in amazing condition. I think your wife could probably easily step on a national stage and do well, in a fitness competition, but you guys do it for you, and I think that's really cool.
Cool, man. We appreciate it. Yeah, definitely the movie thing is, it's just one of those bucket list things. Like I said, I was heavy into martial arts as a kid, so I had the Van Damme pretty martial arts. So I always thought I was going to be like this action star in movies. Sure. Now I'm just like, just put me in a role as the bodyguard or the bouncer or the doorman or whatever. Just give me a speaking role.
Who can fight? Who can do the stunt choreography and be able to fight? That's the part that I think is pretty cool. And like I said, I would, I've been going after roles myself. We've talked about it. I would say just, anything that you see, go for it, and why not? And anything that comes my way, I'm of course gonna, point them in your direction. So, there's my word.
I definitely appreciate that. Yeah. The martial arts has led me to like some of the box jumps and stuff that I've done and broad jumps, up steps and things like that. I didn't even know I could do those things until like Chris Chandler was at my house. He's like, "Hey, I can do this." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Well, I'll try it." And then I was doing it better than he was. So it's just one of those things that, once you get into martial arts as a kid, it kind of just stays with you forever. So you always got that jump spin kick or you got that good snap hook kick or whatever, And, I would, stuff like that. It's one of those things that I definitely want to do and have on my resume. Used to, I said I wanted to parlay my arm wrestling accomplishments into, acting or something just because, at 45 years old, I still think I've got about 5 more years that I could stay among the very best in the world, right? But at some point, you're going to digress. You're going to go backwards. And, I don't know how to stay motivated or train hard. Like a lot of people you're going after the overall number 1 in the world spot. Well, or you could go down to 220 and be super lean and be the best in the world at 220. Well, I don't understand how you can be motivated to be less than your best because obviously your 260 or 270 best is going to beat your 220 best. So why would you want to be 220? Be the best you can possibly be, right? So that's kind of, I was chasing the overall number 1 real hard last year. I came a little short against Pushkar. I don't know how big of a priority that is right now. Right now, my priority is sending Devon running back to Canada with his tail between his legs. That's my goal. You know, that WAL hammer's coming back to Arkansas.
I'm not going to say, oh, this is something. Explain to me, and I'd love for you to address this one. He said something about purchasing a hammer. Something like he had to purchase a hammer last year. What happened? Did they not do the
here's what
hammer
happened. Because I was under contract with UAL, you know, I was watching the WAL on TV, and it was hard to watch it on TV. And it's hard to watch $10,000 or $20,000 go out, but what it was that damn hammer. You know, like, I'm the guy who loves awards. I'm the guy who didn't have, you know, T-ball trophies and stuff growing up, so I kept my first award in 1990, and I've kept everything since. So I've got a house full of about 1,000 awards, right? I will travel if there's a cool award. Like, oh, you got something cool and shiny? Sweet, I'll come get that. You know, so that hammer is important to me, so much so that Christmas of 2016, I believe, 15 or 16, I can't remember which one it was, Rebecca actually called the guy that makes the WAL hammers and had one made specially for me. And it said, to the best husband in the world, king of everything, you know, whatever. Which was a bad mistake on her part, because for the next month, every time she said something, I'm like, king of everything, right? Because I got the hammer, right? So last year, when WAL fell apart, you know, went from $12,500 to first place to $1,000, which was, that sucked, right? So this is the hammer that Rebecca got for me, right? That's my own personal store one. So it's super cool. So it sits right there on the trophy shelf, because that's something that means a lot, because it's something that she thought, because she knew I would value that, right? So when they gave out, they dropped the money down to $1,000, and then, you know, Frank and Karen contacted whoever it was that made the other hammers that originally had World Arm Wrestling on them. Then they had to pull them off, and it just had to say, you know, whatever the weight class was, which is cool. That hammer's on my shelf as well. But to me, I am the WAL champion. I mean,
it's not just you. I mean, it's fact.
I wanted the WAL hammer. You know, I won $1,000. I won $1,000 for being WAL champ. And instead of 1 million people on ESPN seeing it, a couple thousand people saw it online, right? But it wasn't even the $11,500 I didn't get. It's like, I want that damn hammer. So I called the dude up. I called up Steve Kaplan first and said, hey, I'm the WAL champ. I'm going to go ahead and order a hammer. And actually, I contacted the guy who builds them, and he had to make sure it was okay with Steve. And they're like, absolutely, he's the champ. So I had him make me a hammer. And Devin can say whatever he wants about it. I'm not buying one this year. I'm taking the one that's going to be in Atlanta.
But here's the thing: is you beat Dave Chafee. I have practiced many times with Dave Chafee. Now we have not met in person, but I'll tell you, I have never felt a stronger human being than pulling, you know, hands with Dave Chafee. All right, it was freakish. So to watch live, to see you beat Dave Chafee, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. Now, Dave, I love Dave Chafee. He's taught me more. Him and Bart Wood have taught me so much, and they've taken me under their wing and whatever. But knowing how strong Dave is and seeing you beat him, a lot of people would have said that you were the underdog. Would you say?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I was screaming. My whole family came in. They're like, "What the hell's going on?" I'm like, "You just freaking beat him!" I couldn't believe what I was watching. And I think that sent shockwaves through the arm wrestling community. But what I want people who are watching this show to understand is just how huge of an accomplishment that was. And anyone who, of course, we see Devon's page, and we see Devon has some fans. Believe me, I took a beating last year just because I said I'd arm wrestle him, right? And that was for a charity, you know, situation. It wasn't even for a championship or anything like that. You go on his page and people are saying, "Oh, well, Michael Todd has no shot," and whatever. I read these comments, and I think you've seen me answer a few of them, and I'm like, do you understand who you're talking about? You know what I mean? A lot of these people don't realize where you're coming from and your accomplishments. So I want people out there who are watching this to understand Michael Todd is probably the most legitimate threat that Devon has had in a very, very long time. All right, and how do you feel the match is going to go? Tell me how you think it'll go.
I missed the last thing Rebecca was saying.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen in this match? Tell me.
I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen because it's going to give it away a little bit, right? Everybody thinks I'm just dropping his king.
Who's going to win this match?
Oh, I'm 100% going to win this match.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. Okay, so here's the problem with my shit talking, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not that good at it because I'm also a realist. I cannot say with 100% certainty I'm going to win, but I believe my chances of winning are better than his.
Perfect.
And I'm going to tell you why. It comes down. I've said this once or twice already in this interview. Devon Larratt does not want to win as bad as I do. And when this match becomes a dogfight, you will see him quit.
Yeah. Now, there is a very strong chance that Devon is focused on November. All right. He sees, his match in Poland, and that's something that now he's facing someone. Now, he's saying that Dennis is a very huge matchman. Am I correct? You have beat Dennis.
Okay, so I have had, three wins on Dennis. Now, he's had 6 on me, right? But I'm the only American to pin him in the last, I don't know how many years. I mean, Dave Chafee got a foul out win on him, which I believe would have been a win anyway, but Dennis did foul out, right? Yeah. But I'm the only American to pin him. I may be the only American to ever pin Simplinkoff other than John Brzezina. I mean, Dave Chafee did get 1 win on him, but as far as putting his hand to the pad, I think I'm the only American that's ever done it other than John Brzezina. And Todd did it back when he was just starting.
And I hope people are paying attention to that fact. All right. So, let me ask you, past Devon, do you have plans past Devon, or are you focused on Devon? In other words, what's coming up for Michael Todd? Anything coming up for you?
I've got a really busy schedule this year. But yeah, right now, my entire focus is, and it's, okay, let me put this into perspective. My focus is not on Devon.
Yeah.
Devon is pretty insignificant to me right now. My focus is on being the champ. Gotcha. I'm not going to be the guy that won the WAL championship the year that no one saw it. So to come back the next year and lose to a guy who's coming up the weight class.
Gotcha.
It's just, that's something that's just not going to sit well with me. So, like a lot of my interviews say, my sheer disgust for losing will outweigh your desire to win. I hate the way it feels to lose, so I just choose not to.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm going into this match. But after this match, shortly after that, 2 weeks later, Sweden is holding Sweden's Monster Cup. Tobias over there's holding Sweden's Monster Cup. They named the tournament after me. They're flying Rebecca and I over. That's going to be awesome. It's been 4 or 5 days in Sweden. Have a couple other opportunities coming up. And then in December, we're going down to Brazil for Gabby's tournament. We're coming down. I'm pulling Wagner Bortolotto left-handed again. Devon, they posted that video of my left arm coming apart. Says it's going to happen again, this next week. We all know he doesn't believe that. But, so I'm actually, that one's got me more worried than Devon. That's the guy my arm came apart against, right? So, I pull him December 8th, and then I'm pulling, I think, their overall right-handed champion as well down there. So we're just having a good time, man. We had to say no to Australia. Ryan Bowen was having me come over to Australia for an event. It's just too much, man. I got a granddaughter due in about 3 weeks.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, we got 2 grandsons, and I have a granddaughter on the way. So,
bless you guys.
Riley. Awesome. So that's gonna be super cool. I'm just hoping she doesn't go into labor while I'm in Atlanta, right? Because I need to be the priority those 3 days. I don't need.
That's awesome.
She's due September 11th. Hopefully she holds out till then. But yeah, man. Like I said, Devon, we're friends. I know he respects me regardless of what he's saying. I respect him. I think one of two things. Either he's terribly overconfident or he's overcompensating because he's scared. So, and either one of them is going to get him in trouble.
One more thing. All right. One more thing I actually just remembered. Ray Cody loved this one. So, I said, I think the world of both you guys, right? This is a match that I'll be silent during because I think so much you guys, I respect both of you so much. So what I said to Devon is, my hope is that nobody gets hurt, right? And Devon said, don't say that because if Michael pushes it, I'm going to end up breaking his arm. Now, how do you respond to something like that?
That's the absolute last thing I'm worried about is Devon Larratt breaking my arm.
Yeah.
I mean,
I kind of figured that you would say that. I started laughing a little bit, and he said it would be an honor to break your arm. So somewhere in his head, he's seeing that as, almost like a trophy in itself. I don't know. I don't see.
The only trophy Devon Larratt's going home with is an autographed picture of me.
I gotcha. Awesome, man. I'll tell you, you and your wife are probably two of the sweetest people in this industry that I've actually come across. You guys are both awesome. So, from the second I even showed interest in this industry, you guys have both been fantastic. So I want to thank you both. I think the world of you guys. You know that, Country Crush, the whole team is behind you. And I want to wish you the very best of luck. I will be having the hugest party here. I wish I could be there, but I will be, I'll be watching. I'll be excited. I'm going to be texting you, either way. But I'll tell you, as much as I want to say, I'm kind of, impartial here. You always gotta root for that person that everyone doesn't think is gonna do it, and I've seen you do it before, and I'm not gonna say I wouldn't be super excited to see you pull off a win. I'll say that. I just, like I said, I don't care what Devon said about breaking it. I don't want to see you guys get hurt. I think I think you both have a lot going on, and I just want to wish you the absolute best, brother.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everything you've done for us as well. Thank you for having us on this show and this interview. We're really excited, man. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have a lot of fun. Rebecca's running over here real quick. Hang on. I had to touch that because my battery's going low. But yeah, so it's going to be a good time. Wish you could be there. It'd be super cool. I've heard the events is already sold out. So, if you haven't got tickets already, you're not going to get to go. It's already sold out. But
could make in your corner, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, could have had you in my corner rubbing the arm. Yeah, that'd be great. And just poking over at Devon the whole time, like, look who's in my corner. But yeah, so I know you were hitting at this a while ago, but I beat Dave Chafee last year for the title, and every time Dave Chafee's pulled Devon Larratt, he hadn't had much trouble with him, right? So if you don't think about it,
I think 4-0. I think he's beat him all 4 times, 3 or 4 times that he's faced him.
Yeah, I think it's 3 or something.
He actually armed from last year. Right? So,
you never know. Devon's a great arm wrestler. And, we're just going to on any given day, we both have the skills to win. It's just going to come down to that day. Who's most prepared? Who wants it more? Yep. And, so that's I'm excited.
One more thing. I'll let you go. Are you healthy? Is everything good? Because I know you had a break or something happened with your hand. So how are you feeling?
Yeah, I fractured and dislocated my metacarpal in my hand to get the second round against Jerry. I came home. I did 5 days a week for 5 weeks of physical therapy. I trained around it. I got 2 good weeks of training before Marcio. I came home from Marcio, and my normal way of training is just to go up 10 pounds every week, you know what I'm saying, on every exercise.
Yeah.
And I thought, I did it that first week, and I was like, that was really heavy, and that kind of hurt a little bit. So I backed off. And we started doing some CrossFit, which is just getting some mobility and some flexibility. And I'm going through my workouts. I'm back to the same weights I was using when I was getting ready for Nick Zena, which is about a 25% drop in what I was previously. But what Rebecca thought was I was training so heavy and going up 10 pounds every week that my joints didn't get to stay healthy. I was just over, like my central nervous system was taxed and I just had aches and spots. So all I'm doing now is I've got 4 more workouts to do. I will do my last workout on Wednesday, and then I'm just going to come in as healthy as I possibly can be, Make sure my nutrition's good, make sure I'm good and fueled up, and just bring the very best version of me I can on that day.
All right, brother. And that's something that, you know, is really cool too, is nutrition is really huge with you. And I know that you guys see it as very important, even in arm wrestling. I asked Devon how he eats. He said he just eats whatever. So he really doesn't have a structured type diet. And you're coming in and, you know, with a structured diet. So I think a lot of people like in the fitness industry, or a lot of people that do diets are paying attention, or at least I hope they start paying attention to, you know, you're bringing in a part into wrestling that, or arm wrestling, that a lot of people haven't before, right? So, I mean, we know not a lot of arm wrestlers are into nutrition necessarily. They, you know, it on the whole, all right, you know, we come in as bodybuilders or fitness athletes, and, you know, we're kind of, it's weird because it's like the only sport that we'll be laughed at, right? So you come in and it's like the bigger and the stronger that you look, the arm wrestlers think, oh, well, you know, you're going to be easy. So, you know, you're one of the few that came from, you know, the industry that I'm in that has really made a name for yourself in arm wrestling, and I hope more people pay attention to that.
Well, the thing about that is, for me, is I came into this sport and I had no real genetic advantages, right? I'm 6'3". I'm a decent, but I don't have a large hand for a super heavyweight. I've got a pretty thick hand now from years of training, but all mine came from. I never understood. I'd go to tournaments and watch people drink and do drugs or whatever the hell they were doing, and still perform at a high level. And I'm like, dude, I wouldn't even be able to function if I did all the crap y'all did. You know, my accomplishments have come from treating myself like an athlete, like a professional athlete, making sure I get 8 hours sleep a night, making sure, you know, everything I've done in this sport, I've done, you know, it's just been hard work. It wasn't that I was 6'6" and long levers like Devon. I just came in singing, you know, losing sucks. So I didn't want to lose. And I remember being the 195-pound, 198-pound national champion, talking about what it'd be like to be the world champion or the super heavyweight world champion, or be the number, you know. And my stepson, Josh Wood, he actually, it was about 3 years ago, he goes, did you ever think that you'd be at this level, right? Because that was always the goal, right? The goal was always to go down in history as one of the best arm wrestlers, right? And it didn't. It seems like it happened overnight, but it took 20-something years, right? It just took day in, day out dedication to my craft. It wasn't, I was just genetically good at something, and I went out there and was able to beat people. I had to work my ass off for it. You know, I didn't have the manual labor job that got me strong hands. I spent hours and hours and hours out there on, you know, specific training devices, or, you know, wrist rollers or whatever, or arm wrestling, just to make sure that I would be good at what I do. So it all comes down to, and I just don't think Devon's had to work that hard. You know, that's you know, a lot of this comes down. This match to me comes down to, you know, I put in the work. Devon is a guy who he's doing, I don't know, some arm wrestling 3 times a day or something. I don't know. And that's awesome. And Devon's a warrior. And, you know, you got to respect what he's done for a career for 20 years, right? Mm-hmm. But I just think this is my time.
All right.
And I don't think there's going to be anything he can do to stop my hand from being raised that day.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I wish you the best of luck. We'll be watching. We'll be excited. Stay healthy, man. Good luck with your training leading up. And thank you again for joining me tonight.
Thank you, buddy. Take care.
All right, brother. Yep. Talk soon.
All right, man.